We are back, week 4, episode 4. As you can see, I'm by myself, y'all, and this is real, real different for me. Like, I don't want to get used to this, but I got to get used to this for now. But if y'all just now tuning in, I'm Nay 1K. I usually shoot the show with my brother, but he is unfortunately not here today. He has some stuff going on, but I'm about to call him real quick so he can say what's up to y'all. He was big mad that he had to miss out today. You ain't gotta look sad, bro. Don't look sad. Look, say hey to everybody. I ain't wanna like. Don't cry. It's okay. Just speaking the mic. Say hey to everybody.
Hey everybody, sorry that I can't be there today. I'll see y'all next week.
I already, yeah, they already know. Like you know, you had stuff going on. You had to handle. It's okay. That show could see you for real. You know the show had to go on, bro. But look, the show had to go on. But I can tell you that everything that we had planned to talk about today, I'm not going to talk about that. I had to switch up the whole thing. So we just gonna wait because I don't want to talk about that stuff without you. So this is gonna be a different type of show. But yeah, I just want the folks to see you real quick so you can say hey or whatever. It's
Hey y'all.
it's different for me too. Like this feel weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. It feel real weird. Like I feel awkward right now. But it's okay. The show must go on. You never know. It might be a time where you have to do this.
I know. I'll take it too.
But all right, bro. Let me go and do this, and I'll catch up with you afterward. All right, tell
All right.
everybody peace. All right. So yeah, my brother had some stuff going on he had to handle, so he was not able to make it down here today. So everything that we had planned to talk about, we will not be talking about it today. We're gonna push it off to like week 5, episode 5, whatever. And I'm gonna switch up the whole thing. I'm gonna switch up the whole thing. So today, this is a special episode. You know, you're gonna learn a little bit about me, and I'm gonna finally give y'all these tips to starting your own business, or whether you want to be an entrepreneur, or any of that stuff like that. Cause I've been told y'all since episode 1 that I was gonna give y'all business tips and stuff. So with that being said, I'm gonna use this episode while I'm here by myself to go and do that. So first things first. If you have not watched the first episode, I encourage y'all to watch our episodes from start to finish because it's kind of like a storyline plot, and one thing leads to the next or whatever. But either way it goes, like whichever episode you jump in on, you know what I'm saying, it don't hurt to go back and watch the other ones. But so if you've been watching us since the first episode, you already know. I'm 25 years old. I do about 4 or 5 different things. I own my own clothing brand called Soleil Cartel, which got rebranded into Crown Culture. I make that known because Soleil Cartel is still a like everybody knows my brand as Soleil Cartel, and I just make that known because me rebranding, people don't really know much about me changing it to Crown Culture yet because I'm still in the process of rebranding. So that's one thing that I do. Obviously, y'all see me on this podcast every week, so I'm a podcast host. I'm a YouTuber. I shoot YouTube videos. I make YouTube videos, traveling content, pranks, challenges, all that type of stuff like that. And what else? What else? Those the three. Those probably the three main things that I do business wise. Um, so starting off, I just want to let y'all know. I've been doing this stuff for like 5 years. I started when I was 17. I want to say no. I'm 25. I'm 25. I started when I was like 20, 19ish, 19, 20ish. So in 2017 is when I first started my YouTube channel. The reason I started YouTube simply because like I always had a thing for shooting videos, but I never, could put a name to it or found like a way that I can get into something with that, you know what I'm saying, being something that I do. Cause I always played sports growing up. Anyways, like when I graduated high school, I always had a thing for shooting videos. I always shot little videos with my friends and stuff in high school. I still got some of those videos to this day. Um, but in 2017, I started my YouTube channel simply because I was on Twitter. Like this is the whole story. Like I kid you not, I was on Twitter and I was seeing these people that was always going viral. Um, and they weren't rappers. They like I didn't even know them. Like I'm just trying to figure like where do you get all this following base from? You're not a rapper. I never seen you on TV. Like what do you do? And those people that I seen the most was De'Aaron and Ken for sure. Like I seen them everywhere, and I'm like, who are these people? You always get like thousands of retweets on Twitter, all this love on Facebook. Never seen you on a TV show. Never, you know what I'm saying? You're not a rapper, you're not a singer. What do you do? So I found out that they do YouTube, and this was the first time I ever watched YouTube. Like usually when I think about YouTube, I always like thought about like music and just little simple stuff like that. I wasn't educated on YouTube literally until 2017. So when I got on YouTube, I seen all these videos that they did, traveling vlogs, pranks, challenges, and not just them, Jazz, Chris and Queen. I started watching them, and I'm like, bro, these folks making all this money just about shooting videos all day. And I'm like, shit, my life kind of interesting. I'm finna start doing it. So me and the girlfriend that I had at the time, me and her started doing YouTube in 2017. And I tell you, the numbers was great. Like it took some building, but the numbers were good. The numbers were good. So let me talk to y'all about YouTube first. These are for the people that are interested in doing YouTube. Now, mind you, you can use YouTube for so many things. It don't have to be about just vlogging your life or what I'm saying, doing these little simple pranks, challenges and stuff like that. That's just the route that I took because I was interested in that. I like doing that. Now you can use YouTube, to promote your music, to promote your brand. It's all about finding your niche, and that's with any and everything social media wise. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, um, Twitter. It's all about finding your niche. Whatever most comfortable for you that you do, within whatever algorithm, whoever have that at that time, that's what you do. So once you find that niche, I think the hardest part is finding your niche when you get into stuff like that. Me personally, I want to say that I don't necessarily have a niche, considering that I do so much. I do so much stuff, so I just post everything. I haven't found like that one main niche that sets me off. But I will say the hardest part is finding your niche. But once you find it, everything else is smooth sailing. All you have to do is be consistent. Consistency is key, and that's with everything. Also, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Consistency is key to be successful. Whatever you want to do, not even if it's like a social media influencer type thing. Whatever you want to do, consistency is key to being successful. Um, so the journey that I had with YouTube was fairly simple. Like that's one thing I loved about it. It was fairly simple. The best part about it was actually shooting the videos. One thing, the worst part about it is editing the videos. I hate editing. Now, Uh, I will say if you just starting off, people think you need all this expensive stuff to keep up. You don't. You don't. Especially with technology nowadays. Like people be wanting to buy these Canon cameras, these Nikon cameras. You don't need that. All you need is your phone. That is it. Especially the iPhones that's out nowadays. All you need is to shoot with your phone, and all you need is iMovie to start off. Like me personally, I started off with iMovie, and I started off, what I'm saying, with the phone. And I didn't even have the phone that I had now. I had like in 2017, I don't know, that's probably like an iPhone 8, 9, or 8 or 9. Um, and I did have a camera. I'm not even gonna lie, I did have a camera. But I used both of those to shoot, and I started shooting with iMovie. iMovie is free and it's simple to use. It's easy to use. Now, eventually, I upgraded to, what I'm saying, another camera, but I don't even use my camera anymore. I just use my straight phone. That's all I use. Now you will have problems when you coming up into like storage issues and stuff like that, but your phone is really the only thing you need to use to do these videos. I did also upgrade to Final Cut Pro. I use Final Cut Pro to edit my videos. Eventually, when I get to another point, I will upgrade again to not editing my videos at all, and I will be paying an editor to do that, because that is the worst thing. I hate editing videos. I hate it. That's the worst thing about doing YouTube. I hate editing. You want to grow on YouTube a lot. I mean, it's okay to grow by yourself, but I'm one to believe that like having a team is always great too. Um, but don't ever think you can't do it by yourself. You can definitely do it by yourself. I did it by myself. Well, I did it with somebody at first, and then I eventually went to doing it by myself. But that's the whole thing about that. Like that's part of the reason why I haven't been consistent with YouTube, because going from doing it with somebody and doing it by yourself is just like a whole different direction that you have to go in, which is okay. But if you're really passionate about it, you can do that. So other obstacles I faced during YouTube, consistency was one. You have to be consistent with YouTube. When we first started out, we were very, 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 very consistent. I'm talking about like 2 to 3 videos a week. And that's really because we didn't care. You know what I'm saying? We didn't care or know anything about like the depths of YouTube. So when we started to be knowledgeable about YouTube, it was always like, okay, so this need to be this certain type of way and we need to shoot it like this. Don't do that. Don't do that. People appreciate here we go. Here we go. Jordan would have been eating my ass up. I can't say the word. Authenticness. I'm gonna just say that people appreciate you being authentic. It don't have to be perfect. Put out what you can put out, and then it grows. You know what I'm saying? People love to see where you started from to where you at now. So don't like that's my main thing. Like don't try to make anything perfect because ain't nothing perfect. Everybody got to start somewhere. Um, that was that. But like for the most part, YouTube is fairly simple. I still do YouTube to this day. I do it by myself. I just started my personal channel. Like literally just started it. I haven't been too consistent with it. I'm getting better. I'm about to start back being consistent with it. I tell my followers that all the time, but I'm serious this time. I'm serious. I'm gonna be back consistent with my YouTube channel. But YouTube is fairly easy. If anybody other YouTubers out there that want to like drop anything else in the comments below that has 2 piece or can help anybody else that wants to start YouTube, drop them in the comments. I'm trying to see what else I can say about YouTube. Mm, yeah, so basically, just to sum that up, just don't try to be perfect. Uh, Consistency is key. Make sure you post on the regular. Um, be careful with the copyright stuff. You don't want to play music in your background. You don't want to do none of that stuff like that. Um, what else? Well, YouTube is fun. Like YouTube is just basically fun. So that's all I can say about YouTube. So moving on from that, clothing brand business. A lot of people always want to know like stuff about this because a lot of people want to start clothing brands nowadays. I also started my brand in 2017. I've been doing that since for 5 years also. So the first thing I did was I came out with hats first. Just like the hats that me and Jordan was wearing in the last episode of the podcast. That was one that both of those are my hats. I made those hats. Those were the first thing I ever came out with was hats. I didn't get into, actual clothes, t-shirts, socks, pants and stuff until later on. The thing about me when I started all my business is I didn't do much research. I just jumped into it and I learned along the way. Not saying that is a bad thing, but I will say do your research first. Do research about everything that you're trying to do before you do it. I like as far as my clothing brand, I came into way more obstacles than I did with YouTube. But with YouTube, you don't really have to put much money in unless you just want to. Like you don't have to buy a camera if you have a phone unless you want to. I mean, maybe you have to put a like a couple of little props here and there, like depending on what video you doing. But you don't have to put much money into YouTube. All you need to do is press record and upload the video. Now the clothes, you have to put money into that. I have spent so much money on samples that I don't even use, on equipment that I no longer use, and I just spent so much money. And I'm not gonna say it's a waste because you know what I'm saying. You learn as you go, but I have a waste. I didn't throw away a lot of money dealing with clothes. Now, like I was saying, I started it back in 2017. The first thing I released was hats. The hats were, Solit Cartel hats. I named the brand Solit Cartel simply because the lit stands for lavish inspirational talent. It was to inspire young individuals to, just strive for greatness and whatever they want to do. Basically, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, a regular 9 to 5 career, you want to work in a hospital, you want to do YouTube, you want to be a social media influencer, whatever you want to do. So that was why I named the brand that. I wanted to give lit a new meaning, but eventually on down the line, which is why I rebranded into Crown Culture, is one simply because lit is just a word that is so commonly used nowadays. You can walk into the mall, you can walk into the Galleria or anywhere, and shit, you can go to Spencer's, and I'm pretty sure you will find a shirt with lit on it. You can find a hat with lit on it. Anything you can probably find anything with the word lit on it. And I wanted something that when people see it, they be like, "Oh, that's Nay's brand," cause lit, everybody know lit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know lit. Everybody knows lit. So I wanted to switch that up. This is why I changed my brand name to Crown Culture. Now, first things first, don't ever be scared to, you know what I'm saying, just because you started something some kind of way that you feel like you can't change it. Don't ever do that. If you feel like you need to change something, if you feel like you want to start something over, do it. Do it until you get it perfect. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I done started my brands over so many times. I done started my YouTube channel over so many times. Like, and I still got a lot of my supporters from my YouTube. I still got a lot of my supporters from my YouTube channel from 2017 that still follow me to this day. The people that's gonna support you regardless. I didn't change my stuff so much. Like people that have been following me for that long know my YouTube channel have been through so many changes. So many changes. It doesn't matter though. If they support you, they gonna still watch you. And supporters bring supporters. Especially the, you know what I'm saying, legit ones. The ones that actually are supported. So let me see. Some obstacles I went through with the clothing brand. First things first, I didn't do my research. I should have did my research first. But even though I didn't do my research, I brought in some really, really good numbers. So I did the hats first. I was even featured in a magazine. It was an online magazine, but I was featured in an online magazine. I think it was in 2018, 2019, about my YouTube channel and my clothing line. The magazine is still up. I might put it in the description below so y'all can check that out. But yeah, I was featured in the magazine. That was real lit. That was one of my biggest accomplishments when I first started my brand. And considering that I started it so early and I was already getting recognition, that was fire for me. That was fire for me. But the obstacles that I faced, putting so much money in, which is normal. If you want to make money out of your business, you know what I'm saying, you got to put a lot of money in. It take money to make money. Don't ever be scared to like invest in yourself because that is not a waste. Investing in yourself is not a waste at all. So when I first started my brand, I did the hats. The hats were simple to do because I had a manufacturer for them, and the manufacturer was local. So I go to the building, I pay her, I pick them up. That was simple. Then I wanted to start moving into, you know what I'm saying, actually hoodies and joggers and stuff people can actually put on. The second thing I released after the hats were the hoodies. That was the easiest things I can go after, hoodies. I will say when I first started, I started making my clothes myself. Like these right here, I made these. I made my clothes myself. It's up to you to figure out where you want to go with that. Either you can make the clothes yourself or you can get manufacturers. Now that I'm knowledgeable about it, I pay manufacturers. Better quality, prices are higher, but definitely better quality. Um it looks better. It looks better and all that. So if you let's go back though. If you want to do it yourself, if you want to make the clothes yourself, it's a couple of things you're gonna need. And this is where I started putting my money in at. I bought a heat press machine. I bought like different vinyls, different fabrics and stuff like that. I racked up on stuff like that. I spent, I kid you not, like yeah, I spent over 5 bands, 5 bands alone just for uh inventory, machinery, vinyl, stuff like that. So yeah, I bought a heat press, bought clothes, I bought a sewing machine, um, all that stuff I bought just to do the clothes myself. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it worked out. It really did work out for a minute, but it got to the point where my business was going so fast and I was really making sales which were good that it was starting to get overwhelming for me, you know? And I'm doing this by myself. I'm doing this all by myself. I ain't had no help. Like my brother would come in and help me every now and then, but that was really my thing, you know what I'm saying? I was doing it by myself, so that started to get overwhelming. End up doing my research. Um I let all that stuff go. I stopped making the clothes by myself. I got in touch with these manufacturers. Now most manufacturers stay in Pakistan. I get all of my stuff shipped from Pakistan. It takes about 2.5 weeks for it to get to me, but the quality is so good. And I build a lot of relationships with the people that I work with over there in Pakistan now. I have about 3 manufacturers that I work with. The most I will ever work with is 5. So 3 to 5 is a good place because you know what I'm saying, it gives everybody a job to do, and the more you build relationships, the more you know what I'm saying, they'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time you'll probably have to pay for stuff. You don't have to pay for your samples sometimes. They'll still ship it to you if you don't have all your payments, which, I mean, as you build, you should be able to have all your payments, but it's just about the relationship that you build with them. And you got to also know how to negotiate too. You know, negotiating that stuff, different sample prices, or, you know, just you got to go in there like you know what you're doing, or like you know how to talk to these people. So that really helps. That really helped a lot. Me personally, if you want to start a clothing brand business, I would suggest that you go with a manufacturer route. And there's so many other ways you can get manufacturers, not just you know them being from Pakistan. I use Instagram as a way to get my manufacturers a lot because I promote my business through Instagram, and I don't really have to go looking for them. They come to me. You know, um, you got to be careful with being scammed though. Be careful with being scammed. Make sure you do all of your research before you get in touch with a manufacturer. Before you send them any kind of money. I will say thank God that I have never been scammed by a manufacturer before, but I know some people that have, and that junk is not no good feeling. So, in my opinion, I would say if you do work with a manufacturer, um, always get samples first. Samples are the cheapest route you can go. Even then, though, they will send you a sample just to get you to pay for the bulk product. If you get to that stage, split your payments up into 4 sections. First one is to start the order. Second one is when you get an update about, like, you know what I'm saying, how your order is being made and stuff like that. You get an update, you get pictures, you get videos, basically of the process of your order. The third payment is basically, you know what I'm saying, the almost finalized product. The almost finalized product of your bulk order, and the fourth payment is in exchange for your what is it called? Your exchange for your tracking number. Basically, when they're about to ship it out. Don't ever send nobody your money all at one time. And if you already have a clothing brand and you know what I'm talking about, like, you know, like when you order in bulk, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. So don't ever send nobody your money up front, especially when it's already taking that long for it to get to you. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, you have your stuff uh planned out. But that's the best route I go about taking it. I don't make my clothes by myself no more. Just go straight through manufacturing. That's what everything. That's what my shorts, my hoodies, my t-shirts, even my hats. I do everything strictly through a manufacturer now. So make sure you promote yourself. Promote yourself every day. Like, don't skip a day. Promote yourself every day. On all social media platforms. Okay, so what made me start my clothing business in the first place is, I honestly don't know. I ain't never thought about that. I just started one. And, I'm a comfortable dresser. I dress how I want to dress depending on how I feel that day. And I really make clothes for people like that. I'm a comfortable kind of person. I love wearing jogging pants. I love wearing hoodies. It don't matter the season. Uh, I like wearing sweatshirts. Stuff like that. Like, I make clothes for people that does the same. Now I started branching off when I expanded a little. I started making jeans, jerseys, all that type of stuff. Um, but I literally just started the brand because I was doing YouTube for real. Like, I started my YouTube channel first, and then I started my clothing brand. And I think one of my biggest things was I was trying to do so much at once. I had to slow it down, and that's where I'm at now. Like, I had to learn, like, you cannot do all this stuff at one time. Focus on one thing and then move on to the next. And that was probably one of the hardest things for me because I'm one of those people, like, if I start something, I'm not gonna quit it. I'm not gonna quit. I already started. I'm gonna keep going. So I had to learn, like, you ain't gotta quit. Just, slow it down a little bit. Focus on one thing and piggyback on it onto the next. So I probably ain't gonna be shooting long today, y'all. I'm only gonna give y'all a few more minutes. So considering from now until then. So in 2017, started the YouTube channel, started my clothing line. All the stuff that I face and all the stuff that I know now, the progress that I have made today, like, is great. Like, I'm really proud of myself. I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was where I started either. Like, I'm more knowledgeable about this. I know how to maneuver stuff. I know how to actually work YouTube. I know how to actually, you know, maneuver through the clothing brands. The only thing I have not mastered is social media yet. And that's really Instagram. I don't like Instagram. I'm not even gonna lie, but I use Instagram because it's a good platform to promote and you can find a lot of stuff on there. I mainly use Twitter and I just started using TikTok. But you have to promote yourself on every little thing. Every social media platform that you use, promote yourself on. A stranger will support you before, people that are close to you will. They support don't come until after you successful. And it sounds crazy, but you still don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So focus on the people that are focused on you and your brand and what you're building. You know? So where I'm at now with all of this, I'm just starting to get back into the hang of YouTube. I'm just starting to shoot my videos again. I actually got a video scheduled that I was talking to people on my on my Snapchat about. They was giving me topics about stuff that they want me to talk about and where I've been and stuff like that. So I got a video scheduled, and after that video, I'm gonna be more consistent with it. Um, I'm gonna put the link to my YouTube channel in the description below. Let's see, my clothing brand. I already told y'all why I rebranded into Crown Culture. Um, but rebranding takes a long time. So where I'm at with my clothing brand now, like, my clothing brand is kind of sort of on pause, and I don't like to put stuff on pause because people ask me about it all the time. But, like, I'm just rebranding. Everything is changing. Everything. Like, the name of my business is changing. My website is changing. I have to change my domain name. I am changing so much stuff when it comes to my clothing brand. My hats are about to change. Now I'm still gonna rock the Soleil Cartel. People still know about the Soleil Cartel, but everything is changing. So that rebrand process that I've been in I've been rebranding for 3 months, y'all. I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I am transferring and changing everything as far as my brand. I just sold the last couple of pieces that I had on hand for Solit Cartel. I still got a few more, but I just sold majority of my last pieces that I had, and I'm about to cut it. I'm about to cut it. It's still some pieces from Solit Cartel that still sell good to this day, and I'm thinking about leaving them on my website, but I'm changing the whole website. The website is about to be shut down. I'm changing the name. I'm changing the logos. I'm making new designs. I'm bringing in new clothes. Um, I just got in touch with new manufacturers. I'm changing so much stuff. I'm only keeping two of my old manufacturers because they work so well, and we have a great relationship. And I know they're willing to do, you know, all I gotta do is just tell them how I want it and what I need to be done, and they own it. So don't ever be don't ever be scared to stop and change or start over, like I said before, because the second time may be better than the first time. The third time may be better than the second time. Don't ever be scared till you feel like you where you wanted to be. Don't be scared to stop, start, start over. Bring in new stuff, delete old stuff. Like it's okay, it's all right. So that's where I'm at with my clothing brand now. Um, I don't mind doing videos like this. I just need to be more better prepared. Uh, Cause it was kind of a last minute thing where I had to switch up today. But yeah, I'm gonna actually write out some pointers and tips from each category: YouTube, clothing brand, stuff like that, and we'll just go like that. But I'm not gonna force myself to keep talking. I'm just gonna go in this, and next week we'll be back to our regular scheduled podcast. So I hope y'all got some out of this though, the tips and stuff. And if y'all got any questions to ask regarding any entrepreneurship thing, just drop in the comments below. The only thing I really didn't talk to y'all about is my podcast, but that's because we just started the podcast, and I'm real proud of us because we've been real consistent. Even if my brother is not here, like one of us is gonna be here shooting something. So we've been real consistent. We haven't, considering the fact that I already know about YouTube, it wasn't hard for me, to shoot the podcast. But I will say the podcast is going to be able to be accessed on all platforms. Not this episode, but I think maybe starting the next one. You'll be able to catch the podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, and stuff like that. That's if you're not interested in watching it on YouTube, or if you just want to listen to us in the car. So we finna expand to Apple Music and Spotify. So I'm gonna let y'all know more details about that by next week. And yeah, we finna just go up. And of course, we still finna bring more guests in, but you already know that. So yeah, I hope y'all got some little stuff out of this. I'm gonna do another video like this, probably a part two, and it's gonna be more detailed. And I'm gonna actually show y'all how I maneuver some stuff. Or y'all can go follow my YouTube channel because I take y'all on like a day-to-day basis of how I do stuff on there too. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Next week we'll be back into our regular schedule programming. This felt weird. I'm not even gonna lie, but it's all good. So that being said, I'm finna go lock out of this, and I see y'all.